What's happening, lovely people? My name is Dirty Mike, and welcome to the most affordable team jumping squad builder with 99 chemistry, and that means these players could probably dunk a basketball. All of them on my starting 11 have over a 90 plus for jumping, and they win a lot of 50-50 opportunities. I'm going to be using the 4-4-2 formation with this squad, and I think that gives them the best opportunity to succeed and really excel and use what they do well. You can whip in a lot of crosses, and Johnny Russell, Cavani, they should be able to get on the end of those. And from goal kicks and 50-50 opportunities, your midfield is just going to constantly send those right back into your opponent's area or your opponent's half of the pitch. And that gives you a lot better chances for scoring goals on a consistent basis. And this team cost me just over 32,000 coins, so very cheap. Almost a discount squad. Make sure to drop a comment, actually, and let me know what other players you would have liked to see me include. I know there will be quite a few people that say Ronaldo, 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 and that's because he's everyone's favorite player to use in FIFA. Let's be honest. There's really nobody on his level, and right behind Ronaldo, I would say you have to pull in Ibrahimovic, special player, scores tons of goals, and he's just kind of an elitist in FIFA. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. They do everything better than the majority of players, but I wanted to keep this squad relatively cheap, or at least kind of a discount team as we get into a Division 1 match. We're up against a Mexican. His name is Putos, and he's kind of got a weird squad. Players out of position. I'm just not a fan of that. Kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's like a pet peeve. I want players to be in the right spot at the right time, chemistry to be on point, all that good stuff, and that's part of squad building as well. As Cavani starts out the game fantastic, lovely, just from kickoff. And there's been a lot of discussion about Cavani this year. So much in terms of how good is he really in FIFA? Do you love him? Do you hate him? And it seems like he has a very hit and miss relationship. I've seen so many reviews and people talk about him on the regular, and for me, Cavani's always been a standout primetime performer, as his stats say, has his overall rating, all these great things. But I know a lot of people complain a lot about work rates and him being out of position, and sometimes I think people are just hating. I don't think work rates are quite as important as we get a sweaty alert goal there from Russell. I don't think work rates are quite as important as people emphasize this year in FIFA. I know that they are important, don't get me wrong, I agree with that. But positioning is still very relevant, and some players naturally fall in and out of positions easier than others. Cavani may track back a little bit, but he's in great shape. I mean, this guy is an engine. He goes up and down the pitch. So make sure to drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about him, because there's been so many mixed reviews. I'm just curious to see, I guess, what my subscribers or my audience's opinion is surrounding Cavani, because I think he's great. As you see him bang down another goal. Oof, beautiful little left-footed finish there. And he exits quickly out of those skill moves, which is a nice touch. I wish that he did have 4-star for weak foot. That's kind of the one downside. And the work rate thing just hasn't been an issue for me. He tracks back both ways. And then we have Johnny Russell, who's a super silver if you haven't used him, as we get Cavani here on the left foot, another goal. Easy greasy. This guy might just score all the goals for me in this video. I'm not sure. It seems like he got 4 or 5 in that first match. And then we have Anya as my left mid. Not that familiar with him. He's a bronze, very fast player. He has a 93 for jumping. I think he's like 5'6", 5'7", short guy. And then we have Spearing next to him, who is a center mid that doesn't perform great at anything, but he's not bad at anything either. Ooh, whoo, whoo, whoo. That was a sick little sequence there from Cavani. Beautiful little finesse shot. Very nice finish. I'll take it. A little touch of class. But Spearing, I don't know that much about him, but in terms of stats, nothing is incredible. He's not going to do anything terrible. And I like to use so many different players. It's something that always bothers me with YouTubers. I know you guys see that I'm not playing a ton of games on YouTube, but I play so many friendlies and against friends as Cavani with another, just an incredible shot. What a tank. A tank of a finish there. But I play a lot of matches with all sorts of different players, because you can't talk about squads, formations, tactics, teams, anything if you're not familiar with using the players firsthand. And that's something kind of bugs me in the YouTube world, is people trust other YouTubers' opinions and then pass on that knowledge to their subscribers without knowing if it's relevant or not. How can you co-sign somebody if you never tried out that formation or that player or whatever? Then you can decide if you agree or disagree. Can we get a little bit sweaty here? Come on. Yes, we can, of course. After I blew that penalty kick. I've been on a streak lately, just banging on the post on PKs. And then we have Ambrosini, who's been around forever. He's a veteran. center midfielder. He's got to be getting really old, but he still has a 93 for jumping. And then we have Christian Maggio, who I love using, right midfielder for Napoli. And I even use him as a defender a lot of times when I'm playing in head-to-head. He works out great as a right back or a right mid, wherever you want to use him. But he's a pretty nice little player. I like using him a lot. I think that everyone at this point should have experienced him if you've built any Serie A squads. Not in the 80th minute. It's too bad. I was all over this guy for the majority of the game, but every time I made a mistake, I will give him credit when credit is due. He took advantage and he finished. Hey, look at it. 43% possession my opponent had, and he still drew the match with me because I just gave up counters at the wrong time in matches. In the last game, game number 3, interesting Brazilian team here. Some sweat, some regular players, kind of a weird mix. And for the defense, we have Wiggins. We have, I think it's Ben May. I don't know how to say the center back's name. Then we have Chiellini, very well-known player. One of the most popular used center backs, and I would say he's probably in the top 3 or 4 this year, if not top 2 or 3 actually. He's just really fast, very strong, 90 for jumping. And then Cáceres, who I've talked about a little bit, one of my favorite outside defenders. He's big, 94 for jumping. You can play him as a center back in head-to-head, and he is locked down, really solid. And he has a high defending work rate and a medium attacking work rate, so he actually tracks back, and that's sometimes a problem. So much about FIFA is being consistent and keeping that consistency. And when players are out of position, it leaves you open for counterattacks. And players like Clichy, Dani Alves, Jordi Alba, some of those outside defenders are so far up the pitch that it's difficult for me to predict or expect them to be ready to chase back and play defense. And that can be a little bit frustrating. Even though they have so much talent and pace, they end up being detrimental to the overall squad, as Maggio just gets a lovely finish. And I'm really digging that little stop and drop fake shot. I think it'll be really good next year going forward. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at MikeSon9USA. I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.